Yeah, you look at that damage, and it was just purely on the jungle. The
Yeah.
ADC one, sure, that's relevant late game, but like mid and early, it's not too bad, but it's that jungle. Like, what's the Guan doing? That's why I was really surprised at the Afro and the Changa ban. Like, it's literally just going to have the same impact. Maybe the Changa one I understand, but not the Afro.
Sure, but a little bit more sustained, at least in terms of single target, and Eager really seemed to like that, though that game against Black Dragons did go very long with the Aphrodite jungle, even with an early lead for Team Eager in that one. Eager still in this first pick position, and they're going to keep with their same bans. You didn't want to see them ban away this Circuit in the first pick, but they do it again here in game 2.
I just hope they don't first pick Cern. I think they're really overvaluing him right now, and they should focus on picking something else like Bellona maybe, and just get that pressure in solo lane.
Yeah.
Because you can't impact the game like from the ADC role that early anyways, and they should like focus on getting ahead early right now.
Yeah, you guys were big proponents of first picking that Bellona, and was it just really Deathwalker showing everyone the light in terms of how good that god is right now, or did something else change for her?
We used to play it like a long time ago, like 1 or 2 years ago, and I think they may probably forgotten like the true power of it, and it's so strong, and all it takes is him to get reminded, and there we go, we first pick it.
There you go.
It's just the same stuff.
Eager is the master in North America of the salty runback. They are, more than any other team, down to pick exactly what they did last time, even when they get stomped like they did there in game 1, and that's exactly what they're going for so far in game 2. The exact same bans, the exact same picks through the first 2. In this selection, last time they took Khepri and Fenrir. Gonna have to see if Eager going to go that same route once more. Could take the Bellona away here.
Yeah, I myself, I think they played really well with the Khepri and how they played at the start, and Dignitas didn't invade on the ADC side, so he's free to start exactly the same way. It was unfortunate. If they had a different jungler, then maybe that could have gone different at level 1. I think you would have seen two kills onto Eager, 0 onto Dignitas, and then we could have seen that snowball going the opposite way. With, I guess you have no sustain, but it doesn't really matter. Please do not be jungle.
Jesus Christ.
Guan Yu
it's like
and
asking
Khepri
to lose right now. I'm not sure about this.
If these picks are in the same roles, then that's pure ignorance, if you ask me.
They, like I said, they like the salty runbacks. They like to try and prove that it wasn't the picks, but the play, the execution that made everything go wrong. Dignitas, and I can't say I blame them, they're happy to just do the exact same draft over again, banning away, picking the Hu Yi for Arkkyl, and banning away the Ra.
I really don't like to do like a salty runback. I generally believe it's a bad thing for you, because if they lose this game now with the same comp, they should be like mentally crushed. Like,
I think the salty runback can work, but not with this like how the pressure works now.
Yeah. Not with a draft that went that poorly.
Just switch the jungler, please. Just switch that jungler. I hope that is solo. I hope to God that is solo.
Could be. We're gonna have to wait and see. Guan Yu was selected pretty late last time. This time before the third ban phase, or second ban phase rather. Thoth banned away from Zyrhoes this time around. Last time it was Osiris and Kronos. Gonna have to wait and see if they're gonna look to ban Bellona or Osiris by banning away this Thoth. Eager is basically deciding to give up one unless Dignitas bans one themselves. That's exactly what they do, taking Osiris away themselves.
Yeah.
there we go. There's the Bellona ban. That's good.
Yeah, that's a start, I guess. But honestly, just please be a Guan solo. I hope to God. I just want to see a good second game now.
Yeah, well, you can like make a little paper airplane and throw it to Eager on the desk right on the stage right now, saying, "Put that in solo,
but
not jungle."
Even if it's Guan solo, is it that really that good? Because you don't really want Guan in this meta in solo lane, because you want to have that pressure. And there's this all pick to Zyrhoes.
It's definitely gonna get better than it did last time. Anyway.
Yeah, it's better.
Can't go any worse.
How much better will it be though?
It's much better.
Either way, Eager has their choice right now. That soul is indeed for Zyrhoes in that mid lane here.
Exactly what Emilitoo said. You know, they'll take the first game and then they'll pick the fancy soul pick for mid, just because they're feeling it now. They're definitely feeling themselves. I could hear them screaming from here.
You can hear it in the
opposite side of the building.
Variety is always one that gets excited at these lands. Was screaming at Divios, telling him exactly what he thinks about his play style after that solo kill underneath the tower.
I don't want to get fined, so I'm not going to repeat it.
You've learned your lesson, Raffer.
I've learned, man.
Very proud of you. 2 more picks still here to go for Eager. Don't know if that Guan's going to be in the jungle or in the solo lane. Likely need something for the Best here. Best usually plays things like the Scylla, the Poseidon, but neither of those guys particularly good against Ravana because of that overhead kick.
I'm not too sure what he's going to play mid.
Nuwa didn't really work out last game too well. It's not early pressure. Eager doesn't have a lot of pressure with this draft outside of the duo lane right now, but that's only if the duo lane is together. Usually Aurora is in mid with TheBest.
I feel like the Nuwa Khepri did well in middle last game, but
sure.
It's against a Sol, so you're going to struggle so hard to take advantage of that because, you know, she keeps a distance. She has a free to escape as well. Just so much mobility in escape.
A lot of sustain as well with that Radiance now getting buffed recently, and it is going to be the Nuwa in the mid lane.
I don't think that's too bad.
Let's hope this is a Fenrir jungle though.
As long as the start goes.
Fenrir, the exact same composition.
I don't know what this.
For Team Eager. They had a chance to go with something different than the Fenrir. They switched up the where the Guan Yu and Fenrir were picked, but
okay, I'm saying this is definitely a Fenrir jungle.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Nah, it's Khepri jungle. Fenrir support.
I hope so. I really
it would
do.
probably
At
be
this
better,
point,
I
I
think.
hope so. I wanna watch a good game now.
Couldn't go much worse than it did for game 1 there
Yeah.
for Team Eager. Dignitas, they're waiting on variety selection here, and it's going to be the
love
Erlang
the pick.
Shen.
I love
Why
it.
do you love this pick, Raffer?
It's when you're winning and you have momentum and pressure. It's such a nice pick to have on your team. Like it's so nice, you know. Because as soon as like the Erlang is calling stuff on comms, you're like, we've won this fight.
A lot of CC in that kit for sure. You guys going EU again? Will Dignitas go up 2-0 here?
Yeah, Dignitas will win.
My
It's
boys
just the same
Eager have
draft.
this
It's
one. My
probably
boys
gonna
Eager
happen the
have
same
it.
thing.
Oh, Raffer is saying Eager. He likes, as long as Guan using solo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, as long as Guan using solo, he thinks Eager has it. TNT, take it away.
Eager right here really sticking to their Guan. They're going to keep everything the same from game number 1. Team Dignitas changing just a little bit, but when it comes down to it, listen, I'm usually a proponent of having confidence in yourself and saying, listen, just because the pick or the entire draft in game 1 didn't work out, that doesn't mean that game 2 is going to be the same. But Dignitas won so devastatingly, I don't know.
It's going to be interesting to see how Eager adapts because they didn't change anything in their god pool, right? So clearly they're feeling like they just got outplayed. So they need to figure out where exactly they went wrong, what team fight that they really need to look at. And not the team fight that I'm looking at was that triple Eagles rally from Variety, which is why we see that ban in the secondary phase. However, Erlang Shen does have a little bit of control as well between the turtle knockup. You got a huge AoE taunt. So still going to provide a little more utility than the Fenrir soul lane from Divios.
Yep. Unfortunately for Raffer, it's going to be the same setup. djpernicus in the jungle on the Guan Yu. And when I see this, I don't think that the team is thick-headed. There's 5 very smart people on this team. When it comes down to it, and plus, when it comes down to it, Toli, I think that this is just something specific went wrong. You're watching that gameplay and that team fight at the beginning, even though it doesn't wind up with first blood, was nice. And what happens with this draft is something specific went wrong where it just goes, you know what? It wasn't, well, it was just one specific thing. Let's try again and avoid that scenario, and maybe we can get going. The problem was djpernicus 3 levels down against QvoFred, and I think that really was an issue. Where did that situation come from? Eager identified it, and they're ready to avoid it.
And that trickled down into the mid lane because we saw TheBest eventually start being 3 levels behind as well, but this time djpernicus rotating towards mid, trying to help out Best. Not going to find any kills because it's just going to be the Guan Yu, but this allows Eager to start rotating in the dual lane, and by not allowing all 4 buffs on the dual lane to be in control from Arkkyl, this doesn't put Zapman too far behind.
He gets the little babies on the side of the purple buff, so that'll help him out a little bit. Zyrhoes versus Aror here. Is going for the basic fight. Aror in trouble. Forced to use the meditation. A little curious right there. I know Aror's aggressive, but
That's a little too aggressive against a soul that's trying to build her passive.
Yeah.
The heat amplifies her attack speed and her damage quite a little bit. Aurora being accompanied by Divios on the outskirts.
No,
Look at this,
he's
he's just
alone now.
still 1v1ing against QvoFred on the top right. Doesn't want to let go of any single farm.
that one I sort of like. Trixtank in some trouble as djpernicus joins up with Zapman here on the left side lane. Arkyl's going to jump over the wall, and Trixtank catches a hot little root.
This is the aggressive Eager that we've been known to see execute some of their a little bit more unorthodox strategies, and this is how they make it work in the long run. QvoFred, though, struggling a lot because of the pressure that Eager had in mid lane. There's no farm for him to get. He's still level 1.
Ooh, DJ taking a lot of minion damage. He's going to be able to get out of there no problem. And you notice that there is a more aggressive play coming this way around. Zapman's going to get hit by the ricochet. One more shot will do it, and Arkkyl finds it before DJ can play body block. And one more time, the black and yellow find first blood.
Not respecting any form of CC, not even using the purification beads, could have easily prevented the knockup coming from the setup between Mark of the Golden Crow into the dive bomb, giving you that knockup into the stun effect as well. Zapman getting first blooded, very uncharacteristic.
Well, the Oracles are certainly going to belong to Team Dignitas. They're going to pull the Gold Fury alongside with it. Half HP on that objective already. Soul adept at taking out not just towers, but also objectives. And because of that, Team Dignitas at 2 minutes and 29 seconds, able to pick up an early Gold Fury. 1,200 gold in the lead are the Europeans. Man, Team Eager, this draft has to be played aggressively. djpernicus has to be even or ahead. And, you know, shout-outs to community member Wolfie2032. He said game number 1 was lost largely because of Team Eager playing reactionary. And I have to agree. I think that Team Dignitas or Team Eager lost off of playing reactionary. Team Dignitas sort of had the ball the entire game, and Dig were just responding. Or Eager was just responding to what Dignitas were doing instead of making plays on their own. If you're going to play this draft with the solo lane Fenrir and the jungle Guan Yu, and even the way with Zapman, you have to make aggressive plays. This first blood is not a good sign, but Eager can't let it keep them down. You need to see Eager hit the gas pedal, not just pump the brakes here in game number 2.
The whole goal of Eager strategies is to group up around the mid lane, trying to get best in a comfortable position. You finding Aror, looking for those roots which can set up the clay golems into the shining metal stun combination, and not to mention the penetration that the clay golems provides with the protection shred that djpernicus has with the Talu Assault. You're looking at a lot of incoming damage on that one single target, but they can't really find anything quite yet. They have been doing a decent job in terms of finding some invades on the left-hand side, but the question is, what are they losing in return? They're losing their solo side.
Yeah, a lot of it. djpernicus going to get away from a lot of the lockdown. On the side of Team Dignitas, QvoFred's ultimate has been burned. Arkkyl shows up from around the rear, and he's going to drop the Suns, cutting off the exit for DJ and Aror. DJ going to be saved by the aforementioned support, and there's going to be a nice meditation. So 3 ultimates expended on both sides of the coin. Dig and Team Eager only have their mid and their solo ultimates left after that exchange. No one dies. Nice ejection by Team Eager.
Zapman showing why Cernunnos is so good in these team fights. The Wild Hunt saving the life of his jungler, djpernicus, already after getting revived by Auror's Scarab Blessing. I like this more team dynamic that Eager's been providing, but they're still playing a little bit too reactionary.
Nice catch. Divios going to find the stun, but can't find the follow-up Ragnarok. That might have been really troublesome for a variety on the Erlang Shen, but might have been. Hindsight's 2020, and that one's not going to go the way of the dog.
Not at all, but without that CC immune ultimate, Divios gets ganked instantly. QvoFred with a nicely timed rotation. Variety finding the setup with his taunt that was on cooldown now. Aror and djpernicus were just not in position, and even if they were, Auror's ultimate was still down, saving DJ's life from earlier on.
Excellent communication from Dignitas' solo lane right there. Variety immediately says, yo, use the ultimate, come over here. This is an easy gank. Easy it was. Number 2 on the board for Team Dignitas.
Still looking for more plays, getting the oracles on the left-hand side. Dignitas are not just doing a good job grouping up and getting these engagements in their favor, but doing a decent job at controlling the vision, whether it's the oracles or whether it's just the aggressive positioning of those wards around both the solo and duo side.
Right now, I want to see Team Eager just farm. 5-6 minutes in, they're down by 2,000 gold. Raw. I mean, that's just not a good look. Only 2 kills as well. That's a first blood. That's a gold fury. That man's going to avoid that ricochet. Arkkyl kind of feeling himself a little bit, as he should after his performance in game number 1. The Frenchman looked absolutely fantastic there for Team Dignitas, really carrying a lot of the weight alongside his mid laner Zyrhoes.
The key factor for Arkkyl to look for these little engagements is the health chalice. Every single time he goes back to base, it refreshes to 3 stacks. So you're maximizing your value by going for these trades. Zapman with only 1 health potion doesn't have any lifesteal items, but built into his kit.
Yeah.
Once he does go for that green stance, he's going to be able to get that small amount of lifesteal.
Yeah, that's Cernunnos' sort of It's interesting. The character seems built around the rotating first ability, where he's able to have 4 different styles of basic attacks, but really the application of the character is all about team fights. The Wild Hunt, the Giant Circle that is, and of course the Root is also a big deal. Divios getting ganked to the right-hand side by not 1, not 2, but 3 separate players. He's going to find himself safe for a moment, but very quickly, Variety's able to put him down. Meanwhile, 1v1, it's Arkkyl v Zapman, and it's Arkkyl all day.
There was a whole wave there. Zapman boxed Arkkyl and a wave. Of course you're going to die. Arkkyl trying to escape, though. After getting that solo kill, Zyrhoes is going to be able to bail him out.
So Zapman was forced to fight right there. As we went over and traveled to watch Divios, that's exactly when Arkkyl jumped on top of the North American Hunter. Arkkyl forced that fight, understanding there was a wave there, understanding he had the upper hand against Zapman, not only because of the character that he's playing, but also the time in the game. He just finishes this Eval right now, but he just had the upper hand for a number of variables. Arkkyl understood that 100%, made the aggressive but calculated play, and that's why Arkkyl winds up with 2 kills to Zapman 0.
With that power spike of the Eval, that could be the next Gold Fury attempt, unless they're truly going to wait for Variety to finish off the Mystical Mail yet again. Another great power spike item available for Team Dignitas. Don't forget, the way they burned down that first Gold Fury around that 2.5 minute mark was due to the fact that Zyrhoes, playing the Soul, has incredible amount of power and attack speed once that passive heat builds all the way up.
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to for Soul, is that she once was a magical hunter. Now she's a mage that just happens to have a really strong ability to destroy those structures and those objectives. So I think that's a really key point, and why Zyrhoes likes this character so much, because if you open the window a little bit, you can steal a lot.
And Hazer was even talking about it on the desk yesterday, how much Zyrhoes really likes Soul, saying something along the lines of how Stellar Burst and Supernova combined in the late game with some items gets you around 2,700 damage or so, and against any sort of squishy, that's going to be 1 dead target right off the bat.
Yeah, we saw some of the damage that Soul could bring by way of the ultimate yesterday, just deleting players in the late game. Aror here going to join up with Zapman. Not too sneaky about it. Arkkyl knows, and that's not a big deal. Presence of the support player alone will force some of the pressure off of that left lane. All the while, free tower in the mid lane, actually free. Sometimes we say free because they already paid for it by way of a team fight. Team Dig this time actually just walk in and take what they want.
Well, Eager are getting pulled and pushed in the direction that Dignitas wants them to go, having to alleviate some pressure from Zapman as he's 2 levels behind Arkkyl. Aror was forced to rotate in that dual lane, leaving the middle just a little bit too exposed. Dignitas capitalizing on it without any hesitation.
Again, reactionary. This is just the wrong type of gameplay that Team Eager need to play if they're going to play this style of composition. Again, I don't mind the composition, but you have to play to your composition. Nobody picks a Nemesis, a Thoth, and a Shibalanke and say, all right, let's win the early game. That's kind of what Eager's doing right here. They're saying, all right, let's pick an aggressive aggro composition, and we'll just hang out and let Dig do whatever they want.
We're seeing Divios with the Fenrir. This is one of his comfort picks, I feel like, more than trying to synergize with the rest of his teammates. Game number 1, djpernicus and Divios sat in that soul lane, looked for some potential invades. Wasn't really working out too well for them here as well in the second game, just not getting off to the aggressive start that they need.
Very important ultimate from Nuwa right there. It shoves Dignitas off of the Portal Demon, but the reason it shoves them off is because they know, they being Team Dignitas, that Eager have vision of everybody. That Nuwa ult is a fantastic satellite. Aror, he's going to be launched up like a satellite. Luckily getting away from the Suns, and the meditation helps him one more time. There though, wrapping around from the right-hand side. It's the solo and the jungler. QvoFred takes down Aror. On the chase for Zyrhoes. Zapman gets 1. Still looking for him. There's a turnaround. The double kill for QvoFred. Divios is next, but he sneaks away thanks to the fog. And Team Dignitas taking down the duo lane. Looks for the Gold Fury, and it looks like they're going to get it no problem. One more time. Team Dignitas get the objective.
Second Gold Fury, 11 minutes in. Probably going to head straight to the Portal Demon still with Zapman dead for another 10 seconds. It should be a 4-on-4 in their favor. The question is, do they have enough DPS to really get this down? They're going to shove down the mid lane just to make sure somebody from Eager have to respond to it unless they want to lose under their own tower.
Divios and DJ will show up. It's going to chase Dignitas off the Portal Demon that they bring down to about half HP. Nice root, followed up by another nice root onto QvoFred. The damage out of TheBest, not going to find a home. And if you miss that combo of the soldiers blowing up, Nuwa does nothing for a while. There's the aggression out of Divios, but he's just blown up. Tons of damage dished into the solo lane Fenrir, and it's not enough right now. Team Eager trailing by about 5,000 gold, Tolly. They cannot make the plays that they are required to make with this composition.
I love what Variety did there against Divios. He used the taunt just to make sure that Divios would take a little bit longer to choose the target that he really wanted to. Once the taunt ended, Ragnaroking Variety back into Eager, but that heal helps out Variety after 4 seconds, popping that huge burst heal and all the sort of damage that Eager versus Dignitas had. It favored it as Variety just got that burst of heal, and during that whole downtime afterwards, Dignitas just gets 750 gold by securing that Portal Demon.
Great lead for Team Dignitas right here early on as well. It's only 12 minutes in. That is not where you want to be if you're Team Eager. Just taking a look on the faces of the squad. djpernicus not too happy. He's been untouched so far, 0-0-0 for his slash line, but his teammates not so lucky. 6 died on the side of Team Eager so far, whereas Team Eager only have 1. That's by way of Zapman.
I feel the way Eager drafts their compositions, I feel they want to be different than everybody else, almost to a fault sometimes. It could easily backfire against them. djpernicus taking a little bit of poke in that mid lane, still doesn't have the levels for the conviction.
Zapman in trouble, big damage coming out onto him. Aror able to save him with the Khepri ultimate. And, you know, yesterday I said that I think Obey kind of beat themselves in a single game, trying to overthink the draft. And while I like where Eager goes the majority of times, I think they can definitely be overthinking themselves sometimes. Variety in trouble this time around. Nice jump in from QvoFred. TheBest dishes out some damage. There's going to be trouble for Variety, but he's still alive. They can't get the kill. Aurora finally confirms it. Fighting on the Phoenix, not the tier 2 tower like they should. Arkyl's going to die to the tower. One more shot will do it, and it gets credit onto the support. Very over-aggressive play from Team Dignitas. There is a point that I make, Tolly. You know what I'm going to say? It's important to have a lead, and you got to play the lead. When you have advantage, you got to use it, but you cannot let the lead play you. That's what happened to Team Dignitas. They went way too hard in that engagement, and because of it, they get punished in a situation where Eager has no business winning that team fight.
Eager did less damage than Team Dignitas, but able to walk out of that one with 2 kills simply because of the towers.
It was 7-on-5. The Phoenix and the tier 2 tower showed up. Big ups to them. MVP of the team fight. Tier 2 mid lane tower for Team Eager.
But nothing for Eager to capitalize on because Portal Demon is still trying to be figured out. It's still on cooldown. Gold Fury still not available for another minute and a half.
You want to talk about unfortunate, fortunate scenarios? Yeah, Team Eager gets 2 kills, and it goes on a roar. They get gifted 2 kills onto the support. That's a letdown. djpernicus taking big damage. He's going to get taken down. Lucky number 7 for Team Dignitas. Trouble for Aurora on the left-hand side. Goomba stomp. Arkkyl putting on the booties. And QvoFred kicking Zapman in the teeth. Number 9 for Team Dignitas. And they are in love with the way that they're playing right now. Fire Giant next up on the menu. And this one looks like it's going to be relatively interrupted free, as TheBest and Divios the only ones available to even think about playing defense.
Eager had no business pushing down that tier 1 mid tower. All their ultimates were on cooldown. Not able to find the revive, Aurora, not able to cavalry charge away from danger Variety. Mate, are you okay?
Well, listen.
Are you okay?
Team Eager
Annie.
are taking everything they got. It's now an 8-on-5. Mid-Phoenix, mid-tier 2 tower, and the Fire Giant providing about just as much as the players on Team Eager are right now. I'm being very harsh on the North American squad, and it's because we've seen them play so much better, Anatoliy, online and at LAN. These guys are not rookies. What is going wrong for the Blue squad?
They're just getting outclassed completely. The drafting, the playing on the battlefield of the gods, it's just not there for Team Eager. And this is the last hope for North America. They beat out the Black Dragons yesterday in a best of 3. You know, it was a long first game, 45-minute game where djpernicus was playing that Aphrodite jungle, and, you know, only because she was hot. No other reason intended either. Losing the second game in a pretty dramatic fashion. Third game, was quite a slobber knocker as well. So this is to be expected. Whenever it's taken you this long to actually defeat a international team, to going into the more premier European team Dignitas, I'm not surprised whatsoever.
Well, I mean, like I said, I thought yesterday's performance was just that, a performance. I thought Eager were just kind of acting out what they thought the fans wanted to see. All right, we'll play some Afro jungle and have some fun. They might as well have picked Geb jungle in my eyes half of those games. They were just messing around. They weren't really borderline disrespect. That was what I thought. Now seeing them here playing Team Dignitas, maybe Black Dragons really did give them that much trouble here, Tolly.
I think so as well.
But why? Why? We saw them during the regular season look fantastic. It was a continuation of the end of last year where they looked fantastic. And here, they're looking anything but. What is the biggest difference?
I mean, I know Eager like to employ the tactical feeding strategy every now and then, but in order to tactically feed at the Masters LAN, maybe trying to put some kind of weird psychological mindset heading into Valencia potentially, but first you have to qualify to this LAN. It's not looking good for Eager in the slightest. All their hopes and dreams from the spring split rely on this set.
Tier 2 tower falls down. Now it's just a 6-on-5. Team Dignitas going to walk away with that one. Nice ultimate out of Best, but still, level 15, not able to deal out a lot of damage, although he is the top damage on the team, top level on the squad. Shell popped from Team Dignitas. This could be a nice turnaround for Team Eager if they choose to, but instead, it's Qvo in the backline doing anything he wants. Arkkyl jumping forward as well, looking for the ricochet. Can't find djpernicus, and that's going to be a strong ejection from Team Eager.
The call for Eager was to chase after losing their tier 2 tower. Now, granted, some members of Team Dignitas were relatively low, but Zapman dedicates his dash in that mid lane. Hearing this, Dignitas respond in kind, stunning, slowing, forcing the Aegis, getting Aror's ultimate to be used defensively as well as djpernicus. Eager have been on the back foot this entire set.
And that's an issue here. In game number 1, I applauded them for just running it back. I thought that they had seen their composition and identified a single point in the game where something went wrong, and you can fix that situation. I think it's more applicable in different types of games, or it's easy to understand in different types of games, right? We're just, all right, I have this deck of cards and I just didn't play this card at the right spot, so I gotta fold, but I'm gonna use the same deck next time around. I think that was Eager's thought process here. Look, there was one team fight where it just didn't work out, but if we just change A and B, we can make this draft work. That's what I thought coming into this one. Team Eager, whatever went wrong in game number 1 is even worse here in game number 2. Look at the graphs. It's 9-3. Team Dignitas have 3 times the amount of kills that Eager got right now, and it's 11,000 gold lead. That's obscene. We're 19 minutes into this one. It should not be like that.
Not at all. Eager have just no answers in kind for what Dignitas has been able to dish out. Sure, they banned the balloon. Sure, they banned out the top away from both Zyrhoes and Variety, but they have other options to be able to still battle against you. And this Fenrir diving into the backline, it just hasn't been the same impact.
Love the ultimate out of Arkkyl, but this could be trouble for Trixtank, bringing himself down to about a quarter of HP. Again, help from Guan, not going to be enough. There's one meditation out of the guys on Team Eager. Still playing defense here on the tier 2 tower. Dignitas relatively strong. Trixtank, however, unhealthy. If he's going to be the initiating factor here for Team Dignitas, Eager have to take advantage.
The timing of this is a little awkward for Dignitas because Fire Giant's about to respawn in 15 seconds, and they're trying to push down the tier 2 left tower without this buff against the Guan Yu that has a little sustain in the form of the meditation and the conviction. So Eager could still hold on to this. The longer this lasts, the more favorable it will be for Eager.
And that's exactly why we're going to see Team Dignitas go ahead and back off the transition from offense to defense out of the red squad. Certainly something that they're used to. Team Eager need to take this time to go ahead and get whatever is possible. Mid-Harpies, sure. Mid-Wave, absolutely. They're still trailing by 5 digits here. Looks like they're going to push this tier 1 tower again.
Trying to get any sort of gold back into their pockets. It's not necessarily completely over for Team Eager, but it's looking very troublesome currently. 21 minutes into the game. They're not sure what they really want to do. Have to back off. They can't even get the tier 1 mid tower. That's how far behind they are.
Even the cameraman wants to escape. Team Eager just not having a good time with this one. Down 1-0. In the best of 5 series, Team Dignitas just looking more dominant here than they did during the regular season. And that's saying something. LAN is where players usually play down, or rather, players play up and teams play down. But Team Dignitas just absolutely, I mean, they are hitting the gas and they're putting their foot through the floor.
Variety gets rooted out in place. A duck does miss.
Aror.
Auror's going to get slowed by the Suns. He's out of position. He has to revive himself. Stun is waiting for him. Wild Hunt's going to find 3 little biggies, and Trixtank is going to get pulled into the thick of things.
It's the support that Fenrir is grabbing that's not the right target that you want to find. TheBest is getting beat up by Qvo on the left side. He goes up, and he's going to be put down in a moment of seconds. QvoFred gets the better of TheBest. Zapman, Aegis for now, and he's going to be put down by Arkkyl as well. 7, 1, and 3 for the Hunter out of France. The right side Phoenix going to die as well. Team Dignitas advance forward onto their middle lane Phoenix, or at least going to back off for now. And a 12,000, almost 13,000 gold lead has Dignitas looking directly at the Fire Giant.
Very safe play from Dignitas, not committing to the tide and recognizing Aurora was about to revive. It's not worth it. You already got the 1 Phoenix. You're going to be able to secure this late game objective. And if you're eager at this point in the game, you're starting to talk about your last and final 3rd game, potentially, the elimination game, and the strategies, the picks and bans that you have to employ for it.
I don't like it.
That's what you got to do, though.
I don't like it.
There's no hope for Eager coming back into this one. They're 13,000 gold behind. Fire Giant for all Dignitas members. They would literally have to get decided by diving the fountain almost the same exact way they did in the first game.
I was just going to say, well, they did that already.
There's only 3, though, that died last time.
That's true. That's
Eager need all 5 this time.
Eager needs something. And right now, like you said, this is a lot of times, or the reason we don't see the surrender vote. I think a lot of people in chat kind of spam F6 and say, why don't they surrender? A lot of times these players, and you mentioned it in passing, when the game is this dismal, right? You're clearly kind of out of it. This is the time where you get extra pick ban phase discussion. You get to say what went wrong for us. Obviously, they repeated the same draft. So whatever went wrong for them in game 2 also went wrong for them in game number 1. That's an issue. So they're going to change things. Hopefully, if you're an Eager fan, for game number 3, what are they going to change things to? Right now is where that discussion is coming out instead of just ending the game.
It's clearly not an issue about whatever Team Dignitas is playing because they did ban away some options, Toth and Bologna specifically. So Eager, they have to go back to the drawing board and realize that this strategy that they're trying to execute 2 games in a row just isn't going to work against Team Dignitas.
That's the beauty of a best of 5 and why I'm not going to roast Eager too much for repeating the draft. I will absolutely give them nonsense for the way that they've been playing. But repeating the draft, I think, is a valiant effort. You got to be confident in what you do and believe in what you do, even if things don't turn up sunny side all the time. Listen, not every time you hit the battlefield are things going to go in your direction. Sometimes it's just going to go sunny side down, even with a strategy that you've practiced and believed in. So I don't mind them repeating the same draft, but the gameplay hasn't changed, and with that said, for game number 3, the draft has to change.
Trixtank trying to zone out with that stun. Aurora leading the charge for Eager. Divios on the side, potentially looking for the right target to find the stun and the Ragnarok. Not going to be able to find the right one. Variety using that ultimate. The sun's coming down in the backline. All of Eager has to escape.
Aurora's below half HP, and a couple more shots will bring him down. But Team Eager go ahead and retreat back into the fountain. Left side Phoenix down, right? Still down from the last time. And this mid Phoenix is going to fall down very quickly thanks to the Soul passive. All 3 birds are not alive for the moment.
This time around, Dignitas secures themselves the Fire Giant, so this last and final siege is going to be a lot easier than the first time around. Still baiting Eager out of their own base.
I like that play from Eager, not letting Dignitas back off successfully. I think it's right to be aggressive here, but how aggressive is too aggressive? Now committing to the full team fight. Aurora low, DJ at 0. Zapman barely getting out, Aurora dead, and this is going to allow Team Dignitas to take game number 2. The players are the focus, and now the Titan is up next, 16-3. Team Dignitas take this in 1 second above 26 minutes of play.
Dignitas are now 1 game away from matching Obey Alliance in that grand finals for tomorrow.
Fantastic play out of Team Dignitas and lackluster play from the North American squad. Team Eager I mean, we had the conversation about the picks and bans a number of times, but really, what is the key factor going wrong for Team Eager?
They're just not executing the way that they are known to be executing. Sure, they have this kind of strategy for healing. Guan Yu, jungle, djpernicus has done this in the COG days back in Season 2 when Aror and TheBest was still in that team, but clearly this is Season 4 and it just hasn't been the same in that regard.
Just the execution. It is what's doing it for me. The strategy, sure. The picks, sure. I think there's a number of things that you can sort of dissect here, and that's exactly why we have an analyst test. Aggro standing by with 2-time defending world champions, Eager. Energy.
Energy is here, and it's with iRaffer and Emma. Guys, it's over. It's over. We're done. We're ready to do it. Game 2. It was in the books.
Did Eager win?
No. No, they did not.
What a shame.
Yeah, Dignitas again rolls
must have been a
through
close game.
Game number 2. You take a look at these post-game stats, iRaffer, and see that it was not. Dignitas again dominating NA's last hope in Team Eager. It just the healing is there for Eager. That Guan Yu jungle working out in that aspect a little bit, but still not quite there for the boys in blue. They've got a lot of work to do. They want to be able to find their victory in Game 3. Let's jump right to the replays. This is the big moment, I think, that this game turned in Dignitas' favor. Let's take a look at the replay right here. You can wait and see Guan Yu. There it is. That is the game-changing point where Dignitas takes the game from there.
That's amazing. Whoever did that is MVP of this tournament.
A little joking there, but Eager definitely had some struggles with that Guan Yu. Even early on, it wasn't him necessarily. It was on the side lanes that struggled early on in this game. But take a look at this damage. The lowest in the game for the jungler for Eager. Does it really just come down to the pick? Is that all that it is for this draft?
Whatever Eager think they know about drafting, they should just like forget anything they know about Smite and copy you. Like they don't know anything.
On a serious note, I feel like they did the same start, which could have been successful the game before. So it was nice for them to recognize that, but they did an awful trade middle. Khepri meditated himself. I'm not sure why he was running that way, boxing the Nua. It's not really a boxing match you want to take as a Khepri.
Soul v Khepri, probably going to go Soul's way.
I'm not too sure where the Nua was at that point, but she should have been there too, because if they were boxing, perhaps they could have got that early kill.
Maybe. Early. Either way, Dignitas got off to a great start early across the map. And again, it wasn't necessarily to do with that Guan Yu jungle. It was variety on the right side and Arkkyl on the left. Dignitas was able to pick up early kills on both sides of the map. They'd already gotten 2 by this point, but when you lost Game 1 pretty heavily, Game 2's already not going well, and then something like this happens where you die in solo and duo at the same time, that can be difficult to swallow.
Yeah, there's just no jungle pressure, It's not like, I know Circuit was banned, but like a Circuit or a Thor, something that can really apply early pressure and counter gank potential.
Are you telling me Guan jungle is bad?
I mean, I'm telling you, it hasn't worked out through 2 games.
It's just unlucky.
I'll go that far.
Unfortunate.
Yeah,
it should have gone Watcher's Gift.
Watcher's Gift, the old the twig itemization there in the jungle could have worked out. Was lacking in the farm department a little bit there. Eager has definitely got to try and regroup, and you guys haven't been on the bad end of 0-2 starts to best of 5s, but you guys have been where Dignitas is right now, up 2-0. Is it difficult to focus, especially whenever you've dominated the first 2 games that hard?
No, to me, I feel like they're going to be so confident now because they know that Eager just does not know the meta, and they're just going to throw away the game free again.
The thing is though, if Eager changed up like everything completely and just like copy an Eager draft with a lot of pressure, and Dignitas is too overconfident to like dive Phoenix like they did, they might be able to maybe throw the set.
That's a great point, because Eager does have a lot of different styles. They've stuck to one, and it clearly hasn't worked. If they go to the Circuit or something like that, they could potentially turn it around.
They have to do that, or like they have to copy an EU style of meta
they have
if they want to win this.
They've not got the experience, because you have to think about which NA teams are in this tournament and which ones have played
LG,
aggressive.
Right.
They've all got stomped. So who have Eager scrimmed? Like when they scrimmed us here, they actually did really well in one game, and they haven't applied it to these 2 games. I don't want to say what they've done, but I hope to see it now, because they have to do this the next 3 games to have a chance to win.
They've got to win.
And I know they can. I know they can do it. They just need to get rid of this ignorance of a support jungler. They need to go aggressive and just go EU style, because we win everything.
All